Hi, I'm Bob Vasquez with a random thought. I've been an educator for a few decades now. Some time back, I realized that the best way to educate is through questions, especially good questions. The current AI craze is validating that. Thanks, AI. I love being right. I don't get that honor very often anymore. Here's the deal. If you want to use AI, at least based on my limited yet comprehensive research, you have to know the questions. I'm told that AI will soon, if it doesn't already, have the capability to replace the human brain. Quite honestly, I often see people who are prime candidates for that, since they surely don't have much of a brain. I'm not referring to social media, or am I? Good question. I'm not sure how AI works, but I do know that if you don't have the right questions, it will take you down a rabbit hole that you may not have intended to travel. I have to admit, though, that sometimes that's entertaining and even educational. I've learned a lot about stuff I never cared to learn about until I asked the wrong question. Luckily, I'm a serendipitous learner. Learning of any sort requires that we ask the right questions, especially if we're looking for answers in specific areas. And with AI, they have to be specific. The other day, I asked AI if I could go do a specific task. It answered yes. Okay, that really wasn't what I thought that I was asking. I kind of knew that it could. I wanted it to explain how. The right question was, how do you do whatever it is that I was interested in doing? That interaction reminded me of a moment when Tessa, who was maybe 10 years old, asked me if she could do a certain thing. I told her to ask her mom. She left and returned a few minutes later and asked me again if she could do it. I replied, "Did you ask your mom?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, go ahead." Then Deb walked in and asked me why I gave Tessa permission to do the thing. I told her she'd acknowledged that she'd asked her mom. The important question was, what did mom say? See, specificity is critical. On the other hand, Alexa goes on and on telling me stories about subjects that I don't really want to hear. I dare ask what time it is because it will go on to tell me how time was created. I can't win. So take it from a wise guy. If you're going to use AI, be sure you know the questions before you begin the learning process. It will save you a lot of time and emotional energy. Oh, and the words. OMG, the words. Until next thought, am I Bob Vasquez?